Hi, it's Ray Edwards, and we're back for another of our weekly videos. And this week I'd like to talk to you about something I think is a common problem. Have you ever experienced this? You've got a long list of things that need to be done in your business, but somehow there are certain items on that list that you just never get around to. You're just not getting these things done. Why do we get stuck like this? Are we sabotaging ourselves? That's what a lot of people would tell you. Sometimes that's true, but I think most of the time that's not the explanation. In fact, I believe there are 5 fairly clear reasons why we get stuck and we don't get certain things accomplished in our business. And once we identify which of these 5 reasons is holding us back, we can quickly move past that impediment. So what are the 5 reasons? Well, number 1 is we don't know why this thing that we're not doing needs to be done. Maybe it's the idea that you need to be on Snapchat, or that you need to do videos like the one I'm doing for your business. Maybe you think you should be doing it, but you haven't really thought through, why is this important to me? And the answer is maybe subconsciously you know that it's not important to you right now. Or maybe it is, but you just need to identify the reasons why it's important, and that will motivate you to get moving. The second reason we may not be getting things done in our business is that we don't know how to do the thing that needs to be done. And again, this is one that's easy for us to get stuck in as entrepreneurs, because most of us, entrepreneurial types, like to think we know how to do everything. And if we don't know how to do everything, we can learn how to do it, by golly. And so we get stuck thinking, I will either learn how to do this or I will figure out how to do it eventually. And then that thing doesn't get done. So this is a good point for us to realize what we should be working on, what's our area of unique genius, and what is not. And if we don't know how to do something, that's a good time to outsource it and bring in someone who does know how to do it, who's probably already on your team or in your circle of influence, and get them to do it for you. Let them do the thing they're great at, and you do the thing that you're great at. The third reason things may not be getting done in your business is we actually don't know what needs to be done. Now, this may sound ridiculous, but this usually shows up in the form of big projects. If we have a complex project with a lot of moving parts, it isn't always evident what the next logical physical action is that needs to take place that will move the project along. So we know the project needs to get complete, but we don't know, because we haven't thought through, what is the next action that needs to be done to get this thing moving again. So maybe you need to identify what needs to be done. The fourth reason you may not be getting certain things done in your business is that you don't have the time, energy, or resources available that you need in order to get it done. Time, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. We're, most of us, pretty busy. We're often saying things like, I've got so much to do and so little time, more work to do than I have hours in the day. That's a clue that this is your problem, your hang-up. Energy is the same really root problem, is that we've overcommitted and we just don't have the physical energy or mental energy to accomplish everything on our list, which is probably a good sign there's too many things on the list. And then maybe it's a resource problem. Maybe you do know why it needs to be done. Maybe you know what needs to be done. Maybe you know how to do it, but you just don't have the resources to get it accomplished. So in this case, you need to examine what resources do you have, what time do you have, what energy do you have, and decide how to mix and mingle those 3 valuable fountains of accomplishment, time, energy, and resources, to get this project or this item, this to-do item moving again. And the 5th item, the 5th reason why we don't get things done, is the one that's a little tougher for some of us to face, but it's possible. It's just possible that you don't have the courage to do what needs to be done. This often shows up if what you need to do is make a video or speak in public or record a podcast or do a webinar. You're afraid to do it because you're afraid you're going to look silly. So here's my solution to this problem. I hereby grant you permission to goof it up the first time or the second time or the third time. In fact, I give you permission to goof up every time you step in front of the camera, the microphone, or you do a webinar or you give a presentation, because you're human and it's going to happen. And if you can be okay with the occasional stumble or imperfection, I mean, I've had some imperfections in this video, but I'm not going to go back and edit them out. And I'm going to finish the video and we're going to publish it. So give yourself a break. And courage doesn't mean, by the way, that you're not afraid. Courage means you have fear, but you do the thing anyway. So my question for you is, if you're stuck in some area of your business, if there are certain things that are not getting done, which of these 5 reasons is holding you back? Is it a matter of not knowing why you need to do the thing, not knowing how to do it, not knowing what needs to be done, not having the time, energy, or resources to do it, or perhaps not having the courage to do it? I would love it if you would comment. See, I just had an imperfection. I'm just going to let that stay. I would love it if you would comment and share your insights, maybe some way that you've overcome these things or something that you're working on where you're stuck, and you could share that with us so that we could all understand that we're not alone in this. And if you're watching this video anywhere except my blog at rayedwards.com, I encourage you to go to rayedwards.com and leave your comment there. Give us a thumbs up, give us a like, and we'll be back again next week. And until then, I pray that God continues to prosper you beyond your wildest imagination.